So, good evening, boxing fans. This is your friend Ray Danseco. So, tonight is the night where Errol Spence will put his titles on the line against Danny Garcia. Well, this is very historic night, historic fight. So, Errol the Truth Spence Jr. and Danny Swift Garcia are two of the big names in boxing that I judged in recent years in separate gigantic shows. They both won in my scorecards and bagged world titles in major sanctioning bodies. Tonight, 4th of December here, 2020, it makes me feel good that these winners on our scorecard will lock horns in the main event of the biggest boxing event to date at the AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. An impressive venue. It's worthy of hosting a clash between two of the leading names at 147 pounds. At stake and the scheduled 12-round contests are Spence IBF and World Boxing Council's welterweight titles. Spence Jr. returns to the ring. We know that 14 months after the car accident that left him hospitalized in critical conditions. So he will make the first defense of the WBC belt that he unified with his own IBF version of the title on the night that myself and two Americans from New Jersey were the judges at ringside on September 28, 2019 at the Staples Center in Los Angeles, California. Basically, all officials were from the United States, and I was the only Asian officials from the Philippines. The referee was Jack Reiss from California as well. Spence scored a knockdown in the 11th round on his way to defeat the WBC title holder Sean Porter with split decision in a frenetic 12-round clash before a nearly sellout crowd. Well, it's Steve Weisfeld and I had identical 116, 111 tallies, both for Spence. Our verdict overruled the 112-115 decision of Weisfeld's fellow residents of New Jersey, Judge Larry Hazzard Jr. for Porter. Spence Jr. and Porter participated in a frenetic encounter from start to finish, which with one CBS analyst declaring it a fight of the year candidate. Porter was the faster, I remember. Sometimes he overwhelmed Spence Jr. in the early rounds. Spence Jr., however, began attacking Porter's body and was able to slowly gain a slight edge on the judges' scorecards, on our scorecards. With the fight still close in the 11th round, Spence Jr. landed the short left hook to Porter's chin, causing Porter's glove to touch the canvas and scoring the only knockdown of the fight. Well, Porter remained on his feet and received an 8 count by referee Jack Reiss before resuming the contest, finishing the round and engaging in an action-packed 12th and final round. In the end, Spence Jr. was given a split decision win on the official scorecards. Well, Spence Jr. won Porter's WBC title, and he successfully defended his IBF title for the 4th time. That was amazing, actually. The fight was telecast on Fox Sports, pay-per-view in the US, and feed to the station in many countries around the world. That was really a big fight, big show. Well, before Porter held the WBC belt, Garcia won the belt in his waist from the night he earned a unanimous decision win over 12 rounds against a tough fellow American. His name is Robert "The Ghost" Guerrero on January 23, 2016, until he lost it in a unification bout against WBA's Champion Keith Thurman 30 months later. California's Max DeLuca and Weisfeld, the same guy who I worked with in the Spence Porter bout, and I saw the 12 round affair at the same 8 rounds to 4 or 116-112 unanimous decision win of Garcia over Guerrero. Well, I excerpt from PremierBoxingChampions.com's report. Here's what the report says. Robert Garcia knew Danny Garcia sometimes slowly starters in fights. So it's not surprising that he came out firing at Staples Center, hoping to score a quick strike. For 5 rounds in the 147-pound clash, the Ghost, he's blasted away with body shots that kept Garcia on the defensive in fighting backward. But in the sixth, Garcia settled into a groove and drove home thunderous counter hooks that took some of the wind out of Guerrero's sails. Well, Garcia shook off a few punishing shots and keep on coming. It was what was still a fight well within reach. Guerrero came back and took the 10th after Garcia dominated the middle rounds, putting the outcome of the bout once again in doubt. That's what I heard, what the people are saying. They were saying like that. That's their thought. Well, the 12th round proved to be the most thrilling round not only of the night, but of a young 2016 as both fighters went all out, trading heavy punishment as the crowd jumped out on their seats. Neither man could put the other one on the canvas, though in the end, Garcia's dominant middle round proved too much for Guerrero to overcome. As all of 3 judges, including my scorecard, we saw it 116-112 for the unbeaten Philadelphia native, who, with a victory, became a two-time world champion. He became a two-time world champion. Well, Garcia lost the WBC belt to Thurman in a unification fight on March 14, 2017, with a split decision. Well, Thurman became a unified champion, but Thurman relinquished the belt and put only the WBA version of the title when he bowed to superstar Manny Pacquiao last year. Garcia had a chance to regain the WBC belt, but Porter prevailed in the bout for the vacant title in 2018. So tonight's fight will be Garcia's second try to become a two-time holder or three-time holder of the WBC title at 147-pound division. So while Spence hasn't fought since beating Porter, Garcia had one ring appearance this year. He won over Ukraine's tough guy, Ivan Redkach, with 12-round unanimous decision in January. So Spence escaped a nearly life single car crash accident in October. We all know that. So he's able to escape death. So Spence sprang. He flung from his luxurious vehicle before it flipped. So the 30 years old champ took away from the gym until he fully recovered. And on the other hand, Garcia had not encountered any problem prior to his illustrious fight. So for me, yours truly, Ray Danseco, as a judge, I can see the fight even, and I will enjoy the fight's progress like any other boxing fan. So what I can say is, may the best man win tonight. Let's see who will win the fight. So I will show you. I hope I can do that. I can do this. I will show you my score. So during the Guerrero Garcia fight, so the referee was Jack Reiss, and the judges were myself, Max DeLuca, Steve Weisfeld. So we all saw the fight 116, 112, all in favor of Garcia to win the vacant World Boxing Council's World Welterweight title. So when I judged the Spence Porter, it doesn't show. Mm-hmm. Give me a second. So when I judged the Spence Porter unification fight, here are the scores. So Spence Porter's, the referee was Jack Reiss, and the judges, my score was 116, 111, and Steve Weisfeld also the same tallies for Spence, while Larry Hazzard had it 112, 115 for Porter. So Spence won Porter's World Boxing Council version of the title, while he kept his IBF World Welterweight title for the fourth time. So that's how we score the fight, how I score the fights of these two opposing boxers that will clash tonight. So let's enjoy the fight. I think the fight is even, so let's enjoy it. May the best man win. Thank you.